welcome to the first annual Somewhat Nerdy Movie Awards?
Award show.
Award show?
Award extravaganza.
I'm going to be adding,
Extravaganza.
Big band music in the background, clapping.
Somewhat Nerdy movie, or Somewhat Nudie. Somewhat Nerdy Award show extravaganza.
I am Snarf Chris.
I'm Critter.
Welcome to the show. We're going to be pushing back the double feature episode that we announced that was going to be the next first podcast of the year. We're going to push that back into the next one. What we want to do is a award show like every single other podcast and movie review site.
And everybody
did like a month ago. We want to do it now.
Well, you know what, man? I mean, like...
It's weird that when they do award shows for the best things of the year in December.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the end of the year, and you pretty much
know what's coming out.
You pretty much have seen everything. I mean, like, I get it, and honestly, I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't care.
The only thing we're sticklers on time for is the Halloween show and the Christmas show.
Yeah.
What's one more show?
That's about the only show that we always release on time.
Oh yeah, those are always pressure. Every other one, we're like,
we'll get around to it.
Halloween, I was like, you gotta have this done by the 19th, man. You got to have it done.
So thank y'all so much for checking out. The Christmas episode was the last episode we did.
Yep.
So thank y'all for checking that out. Good numbers on everything at the end of the year. As usual, was the Halloween episode going all the way into Christmas. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social media stuff that we always say. Leave us a review.
Yeah.
And let us know your list, too. We're going to be giving a list, and it's going to be a very us list. It's not going to be, best actor or... best supporting or whatever the other bullshit is.
We're not very good at pandering.
No.
I mean, it's not that we don't like the movies that people pander with.
Sure.
But it's we're nerds, and someone tried to ask me what my favorite movie is it's Ghostbusters,
mm-hmm.
and they're like top 10. No one's gonna like my top 10. They're like, I thought you like movies. I thought it would be more diverse. I'm like, nope, sorry, it's Terminator 2, RoboCop, Die Hard.
Also, if you want to let us know your list in the comments, or Twitter, or Facebook page, or all those other things. Again, if you listen to this podcast for as long as you've listened to this podcast over the years, I would imagine you kind of align with our taste now. If not, then you would have stopped listening to us for a long time ago.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
So you probably have almost close to the same list anyway. So
maybe. I mean...
Possibly.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure Billiam's going to disagree with this entire fucking list.
No.
Oh, I'm guaranteed.
No.
Guaranteed. And shout out to Billiam. He's knocking out the TikTok game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So go follow Billiam on TikTok. Almost daily videos now.
Great stuff. He does informational. He does long-form stuff on TikTok, which TikTok allows. I remember back in the day, it was a minute. 3 minutes when they released that. Oh, my God. What are you going to... Now it's 10. It's even longer. So he's doing some long stuff. He's doing some quiz stuff. He's doing just movie fill-ins, all kinds of stuff. So check him out.
Obviously, go check out his podcast, too. So.
Obviously.
So we're going to go ahead and jump into the awards with the... We got to come up with a name for it, but we're just gonna say biggest disappointment of the year.
I think that's good.
Biggest disappointment of the year.
Yeah, I don't want to say flop because it doesn't necessarily mean a flop.
Bad,
it's just mean I think it was dog shit.
It's the dog shit of the year. Mostly something I was looking forward to, watched, and was just tremendously let down by.
Mine's not going to be quite like that. Yeah. I'll explain that when we get to it. But you want to go ahead with yours?
Yeah,
first?
I'll go ahead with mine first. And the biggest disappointment of the year to me was VHS 85. It's not good. It's not good at all. Actually,
I didn't hate it.
It's put into the genre of VHS, or the series of movies of VHS. It is the most dog shit one.
No, VHS Viral.
Oh no, the Virals actually, yeah, that's bad too.
I mean, 85.
What was the one that came out before that?
96.
96 was really good.
They're kind of all on par. I remember Viral being really weird, but 2 was not much can touch 2.
Agreed. Yeah.
2 was just absolutely incredible to me.
All of them were good.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, it's an anthology series. So. It's good.
It's been going on for a
while now.
And it's kind of like, I think they're kind of like running out of ideas, so they're jumping all over. They're time hopping to things that just kind of make sense and don't make sense.
Let's make an 80s movie. Yeah.
So
it's as the kids like nowadays.
I'm not disappointed. It was on par with everything else I think about VHS. And when it comes to anthologies, I don't expect a lot. All right. So when you think about especially horror anthologies, they're meant to be cheesy for the most part. So whether they're good or bad, I mean, some of them are just cheesy. Like we got Art the Clown from one of the cheesiest
that's true.
anthologies,
Yeah, that's true.
and then they made a sequel to that, and that was dog shit.
I don't think I've ever even seen the sequel.
Yeah,
Yep.
it didn't have the fear that Art did. They had a pumpkin mask person, and
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and it was kind of
I do
creepy, but then
remember that,
it just fell flat. So to me, it was on par with the rest of them. But I can see what you're saying because you're just still basing on like.
Well, the one
like
that came out before that was really good. I enjoyed that one, and this one was just bad. So that's my disappointment of the year.
Yes, and yours makes more sense by your definition of disappointment. You were expecting something good, and see me, I was hoping I'd be surprised in it being good.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting this to be dog shit, and surprise, surprise, it was dog shit. So, I mean, and this was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
You know, I've watched like 15 minutes of the movie and turned it off.
It's,
I'm surprised I made it 15 minutes into the movie.
I always like as much as I love the first three. I just want to keep liking them. I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Crystal Skull since the theaters. I haven't watched it again ever.
I've
watched the
only
first
seen that
three
movie
so
once.
many times,
Yeah.
and that once, and this is only going to be once as well.
I will say I've seen Crystal Skull twice, or like when it came out, and then I watched it with my kids, and even my kids, which are young, go, that movie wasn't good. So, yeah, and the new movie I haven't seen. Like I said, I watched 15 minutes of the movie, so I totally agree with that.
I think I'm disappointed that they just won't let good franchises die.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not looking forward to, and maybe it's a hot topic, or not a hot topic, a hot take on this, but I'm not looking forward to Ridley Scott's new Alien movie. Or Gladiator 2. What the fuck are you doing?
Gladiator 2 doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
Just do a different movie if you want to do it, and like.
And this is Ridley Scott. He's notorious. He's such a good director, and then he also is the worst director.
It's weird that he's just going back now.
Yeah,
you know?
and he's like, "What did I do really well? Let me fuck it up.
Let's do that again, but bad."
And it's disappointing to me. So there you go.
I agree.
All right, next up, I have the next. It is the underrated movie of the year, and on this one was a surprise. This one I was thinking this is gonna be awful. I don't know what this is gonna be about. I'm not gonna dig it, and it was Gran Turismo.
I haven't seen it. Okay.
Oh, it's good, man. I
heard good. It's true story too, right?
True story,
Yeah.
and I think that's what surprised me because when I started watching, I'm like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, and it's a story that actually happened, and then it ended up being really good. And David Harbour,
Right.
God damn, that dude just is such a good actor. You know, the way he just like is stern all the time, and he's just like a dick, but it's like that, like a father figure, just like
Nice.
telling you like you need to hear this kind of thing. And I don't know, he's so good in everything he does that when you see him in this role, you're just like, there's a lot of feels in there, there's a lot of struggles, and it's just really cool to see Gran Turismo tracks and the movie in real life, and this kid is living that dream. It was fun.
And my most underrated movie of the year is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, great choice.
I just freaking adore that movie, and it's not even that I heard a lot of bad things about it, because I think a lot of people that watched the movie were like, yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
I think it was pretty much universally liked.
Yeah, but it was just, there wasn't enough people talking about the movie, if that makes sense.
That's because they've been burned on Dungeons and Dragons, not once, but twice. And then
I
they had
actually
this third one coming out.
I actually loved the original Dungeons and Dragons movie. It was the Wayne brother and everything. It's stupid. It's not good, but I actually just enjoyed the movie as a guilty pleasure. And this movie was good.
Yeah.
Pine's awesome in pretty much everything he's in.
True.
Hugh Grant was great in the movie. The Rodriguez girl was good.
His comeback is awesome.
Yeah. So no, I this is one of those movies I just wish more people saw, and it did well in theaters, and the reviews were pretty good. But it's just one of those movies that came and it just went.
Yeah, so. But even though it went, people still like, oh, that was good. There was no one that was like, it was overrated. It was like, oh, that was really good. It was really well done. I agree. That was a great one.
Moving on to best movie everyone hated but we loved. And this one's easy for me. And as soon as we came up with this category, it's the first thing that literally popped in my head. And it is Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. The movie's good. I don't understand the hate for the movie.
There shouldn't be hate, but I think it's just on trend for people to hate Marvel movies in general.
Yeah, it is.
No one's liked a Marvel movie since Spider-Man,
which doesn't make any sense to me.
3.
I like the Doctor Strange movie. I like the Guardians of movies.
Guardians movie. Well, that one no one probably hated.
No. It's James Gunn. He's pretty good. So in this movie, I've heard everything from no story to it was in the Quantum Mania universe. The entire movie, the bad CGI looked bad, which I never noticed that. I just don't understand the hate for this movie. Doctor Strange too. Doctor Strange gets put in that same category. Doctor Strange, I love the fuck out of that movie.
I think that was. I actually thought that was one of the stronger ones besides Spider-Man.
We're so in the minority about that.
And that's fine. I don't care about that. But I think when it comes to Quantum Mania, my biggest takeaway is that I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
But he can't beat Jonathan Majors in a fight no matter what.
No. He can now.
It's true.
I mean, obviously. So.
Well, I mean, no, he can't. Still, now it's just a jail yard fight. He would still lose. Oh, you mean that he's just not in the universe anymore?
Yeah, he's not in the universe now.
I think he meant, okay, yeah, still.
But he would find a way. I got it. Yeah.
I don't believe that Michael B. Jordan could beat Jonathan Majors.
That's true.
And Michael B. Jordan could beat up, I would say,
Me?
most people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on. Easily you. I don't know.
Why is that the measuring stick?
Yeah, it was like, okay, so the bottom, yeah, he could absolutely beat the bottom of the barrel for sure. I'm there with you, but I'm not trying to say I'm better. Absolutely. He would smoke us. He could beat us both at the same time. No problem. He wouldn't even break a sweat. Oh, man, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
All right, go on to your movie.
Okay. All right, so I don't know if it was universally hated, but I heard a lot of people did not like it, and it was Evil Dead Rise.
Enjoyable movie.
I think people didn't like it because I don't know.
So every time I heard somebody complain about the movie, I felt like I was reading somebody that never seen Evil Dead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like to me it touched everything about Evil Dead, but it was a little bit of what you got from Ash vs. Evil Dead. There was some cheese, but God, I found it so scary. So it was like the 2015 remake of the fear and the gruesomeness
without the silliness in that movie, and just combined the entire universe into a cohesive. This is the universe.
I think this was very important in establishing that they can continue on making Evil Dead movies
forever without Ash, without anything.
And I think they did a great job of like, oh, there's 3 books. Okay, cool. Now we get to see more than just Ash's legacy.
Right.
And you know,
I thought it was very smart. I thought it was a very smart movie.
I thought it was very smart, and I thought it was scary.
The creature at the end, I could have done a little something different, but I understood where they were coming from and why it was like this.
Yeah.
So actually, I thought the monster at the end would kind of ruin the scariness of the movie, but that's kind of the point of Evil Dead in the first place.
They're over the top. Yeah. I mean, like in the deaths. And they even paid homage to the very first Evil Dead, where you had to destroy every single part of them for it to even kind of end a little bit. So
it's good.
I liked it.
I dig the movie, and I agreed. Like I said, no, it's every time I hear somebody complain about the movie, guarantee they never seen the Evil Dead movie.
Maybe
they just don't understand it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think sometimes people jump on a bandwagon of hitting stuff.
No, that's the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just not fair for a lot of these movies.
You know, we like terrible movies. So.
Oh God, do we? All right, this time we're gonna do the best new TV show of the year. This one is a no-brainer for me. As soon as I read this title, I'm like, oh yeah, hands down, it's gonna be Gen V.
I'm a bad nerd. I haven't watched the last season of The Boys or this TV show yet.
And
I love The Boys, by the way.
That surprises the hell
out of me. I know.
Because if you're getting to a point, you're like, I don't like The Boys because I followed the comic book, I would punch you right in the face.
No, I like the comic book. And I like the show.
Yeah.
It can be different, and it's totally fine. It's good. The TV show is really good.
Really good.
Plus, it has
Carl Urban
in it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I mean, like anything he's in, I'm down for.
But this, okay, so you lose a lot of that star power with him. I mean, but the show itself, it's like clearly in the universe. It's just as ridiculous as and violent and crazy and
bloody
absurd.
And
But it's a cool story. The characters are good, and then you like the good characters. You like the bad guys too. You're back in this scenario
of Homelander and
this universe, The Boys, and now even Gen V has done such a good job of making such compelling heroes and equally as compelling villains that everybody's entertaining to watch. So you're not like, oh man, I don't even care about watching this storyline.
Right.
Like I would watch more Back to the Boys of just like more Homelander, like a Homelander only episode. I would watch something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you would be like, oh man, what happened? Am I a villain? But I think that I'm not, but I think that this show does a really good job of capturing it. I thought it was a cash grab when I heard about it.
Yeah, it was a weird thing to get announced.
And then because and this would have been surprising.
Yeah.
So but I ended up loving it. So there you go.
And my new TV show of the year is Twisted Metal. And it's more like the teenager in me, playing Twisted Metal 1 and 2 on the original PlayStation.
Pre-teen, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you're quite a bit older.
I'm a little bit older than you.
Son of a bitch.
A teenager, 20s, and when I was in my 20s when I was playing the PlayStation 1. There's a whole TV show based off of this stupid game.
But I love that game.
Yeah, I love 1 and 2.
It was such a fun game to play with your friends.
Yeah. I used to destroy my brothers in the game. My friends came over. I knew the maps. I knew all the maps. I knew what characters I wanted to play. I would also even do that shitty thing where you pick who I play as. That thing,
Yeah,
So
I never did that with
the TV show had Anthony Mackie. It had Samoa Joe, which is a wrestler that I really like, as Sweet Tooth. Which was voiced by Will Arnett, which I fucking just love Will Arnett.
Yeah, I love the Sweet Tooth character.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the video game, and they carried him over. I'm like, cool, he's still awesome.
And I think they shot a lot of that around here too.
Yeah, in Slidell.
So.
The beginning scene was in the Slidell Mall.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that makes me sad now. But yeah, TV show of the year for me, and there was a lot of them.
That's
this
a great
year.
pick.
Yeah,
though. I binged that in a night. I watched all the episodes in one night.
And just super quick runner-ups. I really like the One Piece live-action TV show.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
it got me into watching one. I finished all that I could watch that's available for streaming.
I'm not a big anime person, so my wife's a big anime person, so she always makes me watch like the live-action thing because she knows I'll watch it because there's not 900 episodes, and I really enjoyed the One Piece show.
Yeah,
so.
well, I enjoyed the show so much that you
went
also
watch all
know
the cartoons. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of anime.
Yeah.
And
you say that, and I just watched 700 episodes of an anime. I don't watch a lot of anime, other than Dragon Ball, which I've watched 300 to 400 episodes of. But yeah, you don't watch a lot of anime. Got it.
That's 2 shows, baby.
Only counts for 2.
It's 2 shows. Like, it doesn't matter how many episodes there are. There's only 2 shows. So I'm not diving into these deep cuts of things. It is Dragon Ball and now One Piece.
What are you watching right now? Yu Yu Hakusho, which you already watched the anime, right?
I haven't watched that anime since it was on Toonami, and I watched I think 4 episodes and I got bored.
Yu Yu Hakusho is really good too.
The show was very I think that was that very 90s anime.
Was, yeah.
Like,
but I'm talking about the live action because I've never seen the cartoon.
The live action was cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was cool, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, and side notes on all that. So we're gonna move on to the best sci-fi movie of the year. And this is instant for me. I'm so and my pick is Godzilla -1. It's such a thrill to me to watch a Japanese Godzilla movie on the big screen here
at the same time.
At the same time, it was a couple of weeks after it released in Japan, and just if we as a people have allowed technology to progress that much, where I don't have to wait like a year before I have to watch a Japanese movie, where it's almost instantly. The end of the world is worth it to me.
Not that last part, but the fact that we were able to see it in our small town was even better.
Yeah. Me and Critter went seeing this movie in the movie theater together.
We like, he called me up because we talked about it briefly. Like, we should go see that. And then one day he goes, "Hey, I'm going to buy tickets. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Because there's not going to. I mean, maybe now we'll see a little bit more of this happen because it did really well in theaters and everything like that. But the movie is so good.
I'm going to get this out of the way. That's my pick too, so we can keep talking about it. What I loved about it as well was how many people. That theater was packed.
Yeah, it was.
And it was Godzilla fans. I mean, we sat next to a guy.
Where the guy goes, "Are you a movie fan or are you a Godzilla fan?" We're like, "Godzilla." He's like, "Fuck yeah, I get to sit next to y'all."
And then when we were leaving, we didn't know this guy. We didn't talk to this guy. We didn't but he was a fan. So we had, it was that instant nerd pact.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend was like, I didn't really like it. It was dumb how they did this. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? This is maybe even the most legitimate way to end Godzilla."
I remember the line instantly. It's like, well, that was a stupid way to kill him at the end. And me and him both said literally at the same time. He's like, he has died way worse ways in the movie. So, but the movie was great. it really nailed the human side of the story, which some Godzilla movies, it's the human side of it's completely forgettable, or they just all kind of blend in together, unless it's like some of the weird, alien outer space stuff. This one really humanized a lot of things where Godzilla's not even in the movie that much, and you don't really mind it. So.
Yeah, well, because it was still at the forefront of preparing for Godzilla. Yeah. So what the American Godzillas have, they always want to make him the good guy because we love Godzilla.
Yeah.
So we don't. And I don't know what it is, the things that we like, we can't have it be bad for some reason. Well, it happened with Terminator.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not that he's bad, he's just chaotic, He's just kind of doing his own thing.
He's a chaotic neutral.
What I really liked about this movie is because they were worried about Godzilla coming back, and so they were preparing for him, where Americans were like, let's find a way for Godzilla to fight these other things. So the big bad was something else, right? And it wasn't necessarily like, and it didn't seem like, they try to make it. I think the newer versions did a better job of saying like Godzilla is still kind of chaotic. But
I don't know. That new trailer had him running, so I don't know how I feel about that yet.
I don't care about that.
It's just a weird image, man. It's just so weird.
It's a little weird, but I mean,
he's like football sprinting, arms to the side. It's weird.
Well, yeah, I wasn't really counting the Kong versus Godzilla because I mean, I like that movie.
I like them. I like that movie too. I like the American Godzilla. I mean, I do, and I like the Kong movies. But seeing the Japanese do their product, it's
the way it's kind of way how it was supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. And
it's
it was so well
away
done.
From the goofy stuff from the 80s, and it's back to the original. Godzilla sucks. He's here to destroy everything, and he's on a time schedule apparently. So, but it's great to see this movie. I want to see more.
CG was great.
The CG was good. Everything was good in this movie. So I'm super fucking happy about it. So.
Next up in the award show, we have Best Action Movie of the Year. And my winner is John Wick 4. This was a no-brainer for me.
The John Wick series is just, it never fails.
So it gets progressively more ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
And for someone that, if you start at John Wick 4 and you never saw John Wick, you're not like
what
kind of
superhero world are we in right now?
Yeah, like you went in the deep end. You gotta like wade yourself from the beginning, because like in the beginning there wasn't all this weird stuff. He still just wore a regular bulletproof vest. He didn't get the bulletproof suit until 2. So like that's you gotta dip a toe in first before you get to this level. What are you doing? Start with your gateway drug.
Keanu Reeves will always be one of my favorite actors, so anytime I see him in anything, I'm happy about it. John Wick 4 is just continuing to be more awesomeness from Keanu Reeves, which is so crazy. Imagine, when did the first John Wick come out?
Like 2012, 2011?
Has that been that
something
long?
Like that? Yeah.
So it's about 10 years now?
Yeah.
So imagine 15 years ago that my favorite series of action movies is going to be a Keanu Reeves action movie.
Speed? I mean, Matrix? I mean...
I forgot the Matrix, actually. I totally forgot the fucking Matrix.
I mean, he was a Point Break. He was always in great action movies.
Yeah, he was.
So that argument
is
I know.
Yeah, it is dumb. Now that I think about it, he's played in a little shit ton of action movies, like Chain Reaction, Point Break.
Johnny Mnemonic?
Yeah.
Johnny Mnemonic! It's such a hard word to say. I don't know why that was the title of a movie.
And then my action movie of the year is Sisu. Sisu. And if this is kind of more of an underrated movie, barely find anybody.
I think it's arguably a foreign movie.
Yeah, it is it's a Finnish
Swedish,
movie.
Yeah,
it's Finnish.
Finnish?
Yeah, it's Finnish. And it is about this, and if you haven't seen it, it's this guy in the wilderness carrying gold, killing Nazis. And that's it.
The whole movie, I mean, it's super awesome.
It is.
That movie was great. I watched it 3 times.
It was one of those off the beaten path movies that I just kind of fell through, and I think I watched a trailer, and then I got the movie, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome.
I remember seeing a trailer for it, I'm like, oh, I want to see that. Never came out by me. And then, it was one of those, since it was foreign, they didn't have it on anything that was streaming. And as soon as I was able to watch it, I watched it immediately.
Right.
And then I watched it again a couple days later with my dad, because I'm like, oh, my dad's going to love this movie.
I did the same thing. I watched the movie by myself, and then I went home and made my wife watch it that day. So I watched the movie twice in one day, which is I'd never do that. So,
and the thing is like, I don't have a strong desire to really watch it again.
No.
Like John Wick, I would watch
the whole series.
Let's watch it all again. But this movie, like, if someone's like, what's a really cool over the top action movie that's unheard of. I'd be like, oh, Cecil.
Yeah, you need to watch that. Yeah,
This is and dialogue, not much.
no, it's not. So
Great movie though. Great movie.
we're gonna go to the best comedy movie of the year, and my pick is No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
This was I don't know why, but when the first trailer came out for this movie, I was like, I want to go see that in theaters.
Really, that surprises me.
I'd have no. I've always liked Jennifer Lawrence. I don't have the hate for her that everybody else
Bill
does. And this movie kind of had that old school 80s comedy feel to it, kind of raunchy, kind of.
I agree. I had a fun time watching.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just a fun, funny movie, and I laughed during the movie.
Well, I like how she was a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it's still like a good person trying to come out, you know, for a good reason why she was such a piece of shit. And then you get kind of like into this whole thing. I enjoyed it. I agree. It was very raunchy, and I don't think we get enough raunchy comedies.
No, we don't.
I don't feel like we get enough comedies.
Well, no, we don't, because comedies offend people now.
Okay,
certain things offend people now, which you could do in comedy before, which you can't really do now. And it's not I'm not arguing about the PC or whatever like that. It just things offend people now, so people are worried about doing comedies. This is why we don't get a lot of comedies.
Yeah, probably true. But still, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Like I said, Jennifer Lawrence, I've always liked. I think she's
a great actress.
I do too, and she's hot, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
So.
Billiam can hate us for it.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck Billiam. Shots fired.
Yeah. My pick is Renfield. Now, let me tell you why I picked Renfield. It's funny enough, but seeing Nicolas Cage play Bela Lugosi playing Dracula,
it's worth the entire fucking movie.
I was laughing the entire time. Just him, Nicolas Cage's like resurgence. Also here for it.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
like.
Look, this was almost on my list. This was almost my pick. But then I almost put it as my horror one, and I almost put it as something else. I almost put it as my action film, actually. But yeah, no, I've seen the original Dracula Bela Lugosi so many fucking times. So when that scene popped up in the movie, I was like, holy shit, it is shot by shot, move by move, word by word, cadence by cadence.
I just had the biggest smile on my face watching this, and like seeing him just over the top, violent and ridiculous, which we didn't get to see with the Bela Lugosi. Yeah. And then seeing it in this one, you're like, oh, it was awesome. And then I like Awkwafina.
I can't stand her. She's the worst part of the entire fucking movie.
This is the most... I disagree. I think she's funny.
She was toned down in this movie.
This is the most toned down I've ever seen her, but I think she's funny.
I don't think she's fucking funny at all. Her voice aggravates me.
I understand. Yeah. I understand that, but I think she's funny.
But no, I totally agree. Renfield's fucking awesome. So yeah, this should have been on my list. It's one of the movies I liked over the year.
So now we're getting into some of the more nerd bread and butter stuff here.
Our kind of stuff.
Yeah. So our next category is the best superhero movie of the year. And my winner is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now,
great fucking movie.
I didn't think I could... I love the first one. Mm. And this one, I was like, all right, I will probably be good, but I didn't think it would be that good. At the end of the movie, I was pissed. I was mad because I was like, the cliffhanger was the most ridiculous cliffhanger you could possibly do.
It really is.
And I forgot I was watching the movie for over 2 hours. And I was like, oh man, we're just getting into it now. And I was just so into it, everything about it, seeing all the different Spider-Man. It was just like a Spider-Man nerd's dream come true, seeing all of these in play here. Plus Spider-Man 2099 needs more love.
Which is one of my favorite Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
So easily. So.
Absolutely. So
I read the original comic book when it came out.
Yeah, me too. I had several issues of it.
You were way young when that came out.
Oh, I will punch you right
anyway,
in the face.
Go ahead. But no, I agree. I love that movie all the way until the end of the movie. The ending, I fucking can't stand when I know they're doing a sequel.
I loved it. I was mad.
Yeah, I was too.
But I mean, they're not making us wait that years.
Yeah, years.
It's coming out. But I mean, still, like, I was like, I wanted more immediately.
It was definitely one of those things when it happened. I'm like, how much more movie we have? It was like, we have no more movie left.
Yeah, I wasn't even keeping track. Yeah. I was just sitting there, I'm like, oh.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. The Spider-Man, the Miles Morales story it's proof that they can make new characters and fucking just make them really, really, really good. And Miles is not even a new character anymore. He's fucking 15 years old, 20 years old now. Yeah. And everybody acts like Miles is like this brand new Spider-Man. They just admit it. He's been around for fucking ever.
Well, again, this goes back in the people that only know the Marvel from the movies.
Yeah, not the comic books and stuff like that.
When you talk to anyone in comic books, you're like,
Miles has been around for fucking ever. So, and I fucking love Miles. I love Miles in the comic book and obviously in the movies and everything like that. It's really written very, very, very well. So, and doesn't shit on anything either. So.
Oh, and the animation styles are just so good.
It reminds me a lot of another movie that came out last year with Ninja Turtle movie. A little bit more cartoony and like
comic
paint wise, but in the Turtle movie I really enjoyed too. Other than they fucked up all the bad guys.
I was gonna say I'm surprised by that with you.
Oh, they fucked up the bad guys. It would have been on my list this year as something if it wasn't for the bad guys.
I kind of liked how they did the turtles in each style from. A different. To me, it felt like each turtle was a different style from either a movie or animation.
Agreed. Yeah.
That was really cool.
My favorite superhero movie of the year is Flash. I put Flash on this list.
I'm surprised.
I'm going to say Batman Returns 3.
Batman with appearances by Flash?
Yeah, this movie is another movie that I think a lot of people shit on and everything. And obviously, there's reasons everybody shit on the movie because of Ezra Miller and everything like that. But I got to see Michael Keaton as Batman and be Batman, like jumping around, fucking things he never was even able to do when he was 30 years ago, you know?
Yeah, and this just shows me, again, Michael Keaton, he's got it.
Yeah, he's just fucking cool, man.
He's just a cool guy.
Anytime he's on scene, I'm just like this. That's Bruce Wayne right there.
Like I forgot it's funny because they had to put Michael Keaton on the poster.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people would have seen it without it.
No, I had no want to see this movie, and I would have never seen this movie if he was not in the movie.
Yeah.
So. And I enjoyed the movie so much. Even the Ezra Miller parts, I never liked him as Barry Allen. I fucking can't stand him as
I don't
Barry
like
Allen.
how they paint, not just him, how they wrote Barry Allen as this big loser.
Yeah. I fucking can't stand that.
When was Barry Allen a big loser?
Never. So I can't stand that he's Barry Allen. It aggravates me to no end. On top of him just being a big giant piece of shit. So we're not seeing it again. This is our last thing hopefully we'll see with him. But the movie was good. And it's kind of pointless because, I mean, the whole DC universe is reset and everything like that. Yeah. But I really like this movie. And mostly because it's all because of Batman. It's all because of Batman.
Yeah, if this movie would have no
saving grace.
No,
if it would have been the Barry Allen movie, and I'd be like, I don't care about fucking Barry Allen.
You're right.
And we're gonna go ahead and get into the categories our favorite category most of the time. Best horror movie of the year, and mine is, if you haven't seen it, buckle up. Because When Evil Lurks is the name of the movie.
Well, you know what? That's mine too.
Yeah,
let's get that out of the way. So, this was an Argentina movie.
Yeah, it's a foreign movie. It's a little other than radar, but everybody that's in horror have seen this movie.
I've actually noticed there's been a lot of horror movies coming out of the Argentina region.
Yeah.
They had a really good zombie movie come out a couple years ago. That was really good. And they came out with a really good zombie movie when there wasn't a lot of good zombie movies coming out. We were still riding the coattails of the South Korean, and that has been prevalent because you had, of course, Train to Busan kicked it off, and then Peninsula, the sequel, but then they had the shows, the ones, Kingdom, and then Awesome, and then they had another
Sadness.
Well, that's Taiwanese. Something.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And then they had another show, All of Us Are Dead. All of these were really cool. So there was no one else putting out really good zombie stuff besides South Korea, and then all of a sudden, here comes Argentina with by the way, we also have this awesome zombie movie.
And this movie is maybe one of the hardest watches I've ever had.
Now, this is one of those things that I think some stuff is lost a little in translation based on culture.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, oh my God, it's
brutal.
It's tough. It's hard. And what I love about this movie is that demon-possessed people just exist. It just happens.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's just
that happens?
It's a norm part of life.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, they hate it, and it sucks, but it happens.
And the beauty of the whole entire movie is just they don't explain shit. They just
because it's part of their life.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, by the way, that's how
thrown into this world, and there's these things called rotten, and it's basically you get possessed by this thing that they never fucking explain, which is so fucking.
But it affects children and animals apparently.
Yeah, and it just makes you
the
demonic.
animal scenes. Oh my God.
There's so many scenes in this movie now.
That made me go, oh shit, like out loud.
The dog scene in this movie is really hard to fucking watch, even though you know it's about to fucking happen.
You know
and you're like, no, they're gonna cut it out. But I didn't expect
the brutality.
Yeah,
of
they're gonna do it off film. No, they kind of did,
but it was enough. They showed just enough. You're like, fuck, oh my god.
The axe scene. I'm trying not to give anything away for this movie, but it's so good that you should watch it. But the axe scene's really fucking brutal. But the whole movie, and you can tell, even though I don't speak the language, it's well acted. Yeah, it's super, super, super well acted.
You can tell when someone
it's bad. Yeah.
And you can tell that this was
such a well done movie.
People were feeling it,
and it's just shot so fucking beautifully.
It's a good movie.
Whenever like a film cinematographer is so good on the movie, it really gives me the nerd feelings for it. So
I think that's something you don't realize until you watch a lot of movies. Because I can tell right away if I'm gonna like, unless it's intentional, and sometimes that's a cinematographer choice. But a lot of times when you watch it, you see bad cinematography, and then you see this kind of bad, and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. But everything's really good in this movie. I highly recommend. It was almost my movie of the year. Sickeningly enough, I've watched this movie entirely too many times since it came out.
I'm surprised you watched this a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen it like 5-6 times now. So
really,
yeah,
that
I just
me.
really enjoy this movie, dude. It was the acting and how it's shot, and it's brutal and it's hard to get through. And I'm depressed for like 2 days after I watched the fucking movie, but it's so worth it with how good this.
Interesting. Okay,
I'm just fucked in the head. I don't know. It was the same thing that happened with the sadness whenever I watched that the first time.
Yeah, but you said that this when Evil Lurks bothered you more than sadness.
Yeah, when Evil
sadness
Lurks bothered
messed me up. But like when Evil Lurks, I'm like, that was good. It didn't mess me up. To me, I was like, oh, that was just good.
That surprises me. I thought this movie would have been on the same level as Sadness.
No, it didn't. It did not have that effect on me at all.
I wonder why. Maybe you're fucking sick in the head. So I'm really glad we both picked this movie. We watched this movie right around the same time, and I think I watched it and I told you to watch it. And we
No.
Opposite. Okay.
No, I didn't. I just knew.
You just watched it.
I just watched it because this was. So I exclusively check Shudder every week for new movies. Yeah. In fact, the new one came out today that I plan on watching. It's already on my list to watch. And it's the new one, the like H.P. Lovecraft type movie with Heather Graham.
Oh yeah.
So that just came out today at the time we were recording.
Shudder, not a sponsor, but should be.
Should be. But I mean, I check Shudder between one service I like a lot the most, and then Shudder would be my number 2. I like it above everything, but that's because I like horror movies. It's not like if I'm like, hey, you should get this. I wouldn't recommend people get Shudder unless they like horror.
Oh, agree.
And then if you do, you absolutely should get this.
Have you seen Mad God yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
No, that's right.
So now the coup de resistance.
The big dog, the best overall movie of the year, and this is our number 1 pick. If we were telling you to go watch a movie this year, we're picking this. So if you want to go ahead, was the drum roll?
It's Scream 6. I know, it's weird. After everything that's happened with Scream, the Scream, like, behind the scenes with everything, with Scream 7 getting canceled, I'm not weighing in on any of that right now. I just want to talk about Scream 6.
Yeah, we'll probably do a whole podcast on that sometime eventually.
I just want to talk about Scream 6 and how good it was. This is another one of those instances where it shows that they can do just as much with the franchise without legacy characters. Yeah. And I loved every person in this movie for the most part. I loved every part of it, and the scene that gets me a lot. Well, first of all, it's the most brutal Scream we've ever had.
Yeah, for sure.
And the
daytime kills, man. Daytime kills.
And super public kills.
Yeah.
I mean, like when he goes in the convenience store,
and I think about Jason Voorhees
is
everybody.
Just such a cool. Well, but it's more realistic. It's more guttural. It's like, these people are like, hey, this is a dude. Yeah. This is, and like, it takes away that it's someone else. But it showed that, like, if someone's that crazed, whatever, that and just the subway scene, the amount of Easter eggs that they put in there. They had almost every slasher you could think of, horror movie characters. They put the Babadook in there, which is a throwback to when they were like, oh, I love the Babadook from Scream 5. And I could give a shit about that movie, but all these other things that showed up in the subway scene, every time I watch it, I find new things in there to really like in that one scene. And then I end up liking the whole movie again. I'm like, just so good. There's never really a slow part. I'm just super, it's over again, you know? That's why I like it. And someone talks about it, I'm like, if you like Scream, they're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it past Scream 1. I'm like, watch Scream 6. Because it used to be Scream 2 was my number 2 pick for the Scream franchise. Nope, now Scream 6.
We did a whole podcast on this.
Yeah, and it's
Go listen to it.
and I think it's even changed further up. I think it's just now number 2.
Yeah. We went and saw that in theaters, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig it. I had reservations about the new Scream movies until you made me watch them, and I'm like, oh, they're fucking good.
Yeah.
It's a solid ass fucking series. So, my best overall movie of the year, since I already gushed about it earlier, Godzilla -1. I kept going through all the movies that got released this year, and nothing affected me like that movie.
You're a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Godzilla fan. I really am. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I'm a huge just Japanese movies. I watch so many Japanese. And the fact that I got to see a Godzilla movie in theaters will never be lost on me. So
Japanese Godzilla movie.
Japanese Godzilla movie,
Right.
yeah. I just fucking dig the movie. I haven't seen it since we were in theaters, so I can't wait to. I'm probably going back to see it again if it plays around here in black and white.
Really?
They're re-releasing it
Yeah,
in
I
black
did
and
see
white.
that.
So I would love to go see it on big screen again. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and gush about Godzilla for another 15 minutes. But, yeah, that's my number 1 pick. I highly fucking recommend it movie. Even if you're not a Godzilla fan, it's something you should watch for sure.
Yeah.
Both good picks.
I think it's an awesome movie, and I was really happy to go see it. I mean, and I don't go to the movies that much anymore, so it kind of takes a big movie and something that excites me, because even Marvel movies don't excite me as much as they used to. And again, it's not that I hate them, it's just that I feel like they've lost the magic a little bit, you know?
It is. I think it's.
I say that, but
fatigue.
I've still seen a lot of them.
Yeah, we've seen all of them, but the Marvels.
No, that's not true. What was another? There was another one I missed.
No, there isn't.
Was there any one?
Marvels is the only one we haven't seen in theaters. Guardians, we saw Guardians, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. Marvels, I wanted to go see in theaters. I just never had time to go see it.
Yeah. It wasn't there very long.
No, because I don't think it did good.
But you know what? I think. But here, the funny thing is about the Marvel thing. When Loki season 2 came out,
Yeah.
it took me a while to watch it.
Yeah,
And then I watched it, and then I
it.
really liked it. But
still haven't
it
watched
took
it.
me a while to watch it.
I haven't watched Echo yet.
I watched it.
Yeah.
And it was,
There's fatigue happening.
yeah.
So anyway, that's our podcast. Let us know your list of top movies of 2023. I don't even know what year we're in anymore.
2024?
Yeah, okay. No. We didn't do drama. We were talking about doing drama. I never watched drama movies, like overly drama. Oppenheimer, I guess, would be the only movie that you could put on the list.
Yeah, probably. It was good. It was really good. It was
being
really long, and
It was really long.
And I didn't think it was that as long, because when I was watching, I was pretty entranced with it.
Yeah. I knew that story already because I read a couple of books about Oppenheimer a couple of times. And I just finished a podcast like breaking down the entire fucking thing. So, and I'm a big history guy, so I like that kind of stuff. But that's not really in the spirit of somewhat nerdy.
That's true. Oh, that's not true. It's movies. So.
It's movies, but yeah. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Leave all your list greatest movies of last year on any of our social media pages. Since we rescheduled our double feature, we're going to be doing a double feature as our next podcast. So
you got some time to watch them.
In case you forgot, we'll go ahead and give our picks for the next podcast for the double feature. Mine is Big Man Japan. It's a weird ass fucking movie. So. And
mine is another weird ass fucking movie, and it is called Dark Angel, or also sometimes called I Come in Peace.
Way better title, but. So anyway, we will be back in the next couple of weeks with a new podcast. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. Welcome to the new year, a month late or something along those lines. So yeah, we've been your hosts. I am Snarf Chris.
I'm Critter.
And good journey, nerds.
Good journey, nerds.